Hey, and welcome to another installment of Geek Out Commentary. I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jake.
And we're finally finishing out our tour of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in preparation for the Avengers Age of Ultron with Guardians of the Galaxy, a film that probably has the least to do with Age of Ultron. Because I feel like it's in its own little pocket.
Yeah, I feel like James Gunn likes that too.
It's in its own little pocket universe.
Yeah. Not quite.
No.
There's some ties, tenuous, but they're there.
Yeah. I mean, there's the Punisher driving the Penske truck.
Yeah. God, if you haven't heard our Winter Soldier commentary, watch as we rip apart that theory to shreds. Yeah. So here we are, Guardians of the Galaxy, the highest grossing domestic film in 2014 until the release of The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. So the second highest grossing. I don't know why I had to make that distinction. Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead.
Because it was better.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and any thoughts before we get started, gentlemen?
I got to say, I knew nothing about the Guardians before this movie, more or less. Like, I had read, like, a comic here and there of the new, the Marvel Now run. But, like, for better or for worse, I knew nothing. And I got to say, this was really, like, surprisingly, like, I loved it, I wasn't terribly surprised because I like James Gunn and I, like sci-fi action stuff, but it ended up being, Phase 2 just ended up being, like, a real powerhouse of movies that I liked, and this was a great way to end it out before Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I've only seen it 1.5 times because I rented it and my internet went out halfway through the movie, so I'm excited to watch it again.
I saw it twice in theaters.
Nice.
And it's the only Marvel movie I've seen twice in theaters. Or rather, more than once in theaters, period.
Ever?
You could say that I saw Iron Man twice in theaters because I went to, when Iron Man 2 came out, I went to a double feature.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, I don't recall going to see any of the other ones multiple times in theaters.
Oh,
maybe Avengers? Yeah.
I've got some fond memories of this one. I had seen multiple films and multiple Marvel. I didn't see this one twice in theaters. This is only like the third time I've seen it from top to bottom. And I was pleasantly surprised because I thought this was going to be it had the potential to be the movie that kind of derailed the Marvel's winning streak. Because you're taking a relatively young team or a relatively young franchise, because even though Marvel has had a title called Guardians of the Galaxy since the 70s, this incarnation of the team with Star-Lord and all these guys didn't exist until 2008.
Yeah. So, we're like right about 5 years that this has been a thing.
They've even been around, a full 10 years. So was never like a huge hot selling book. So it's not like they had this like huge. It was which isn't to call it a failure, but it was.
It was well received, but it wasn't selling like Spider-Man or Captain America
or the Avengers or any of that. So I was kind of apprehensive, but pleasantly surprised.
Me too.
Me too. So Chris, count us off.
Yeah. So we are rocking the 3D Blu-ray, although we're not watching it in 3D, but not that that matters to you. But you should be fine watching it on any medium that you are. So as per usual, we have the movie queued up and the counter set to all zeros. So make sure you have that set up, and then I will give you a countdown and tell you to hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. So I noticed this one doesn't start off with the Marvel.
Oh, the standard kind of comics thing.
Yeah. Anyone have any idea why that's going on? Or is that just our DVD being weird?
I don't know. We're just using the standard edition Blu-ray.
This is a very wide-angle lens. I remember being kind of thrown off by that. But then at the same time being like, I don't know. Now it kind of feels like I'm looking through a kid's eye. Yeah. And, and like they don't do that throughout the whole movie, so I think that was a conscious effort.
What's his name from
Gilmore Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of a douche on that show.
He's kind of a douche in this.
Treats Rory like crap. Nobody treats Rory like crap.
You were saying you hated that people were complaining about his Walkman still working. Like,
Yeah, who cares?
Like
I mean, we got a talking raccoon and a tree in this movie, and they're like, how do they get more batteries?
They have alien technology that probably work better than our batteries.
Yeah, exactly. They probably have something that like, hey, put this in there. You never have to change it ever again.
Yeah, we'll perfectly preserve your tape.
Yeah.
I took more offense to the fact that for like 30 years he's been listening to the same tape.
That's all he has from his mom.
I mean, I get that. I get the sentimentality. I'm surprised that the songs are still enjoyable to him.
God, this sequence is so hard for me to watch.
Yeah.
Kind of a hint at Peter Quill's interstellar father.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn has said in interviews since, he's like, it's not like the comics. He's not his son isn't, or father isn't Jason of the Spartaks.
Should be Black Bolt.
The rumor is that it's to tie it to the Inhumans. It might very well be.
Because how great would that be? Like, Star-Lord is this, like, talks a lot, kind of a smart-ass, and his dad, and just sitting there and just not talking because he can't.
Here's a flip. What if it's actually Thanos?
That would be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Some Star Wars shit.
Kind of, yeah.
And there already, some people like to refer to it as, like, this generation Star Wars. Why not?
Yeah. I kind of got that feel from it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Had that kind of...
And it wasn't
better than the prequel.
And it wasn't even, like, the space battles that made me think that. It was just the fun. And the
tone, yeah.
I remember I was having trouble, holding back the tears with all of the, mother, father, shit that goes on in this movie. They really did a good job.
Yeah, they caught the emotion of that real well.
Do 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 do.
Meh, 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 meh. I mean, I know that's not the song you were doing, but
vagina-shaped ship with the ovaries on the side.
Just like a vagina.
There's your flips.
I hope you brought more than one mixtape to listen to. It's going to be a long time.
Well, spoilers. He did.
Yeah, we're going to assume if you're listening to these... If you haven't figured it out by now in these commentaries, we kind of assume...
Yeah, I mean...
you've seen these fucking movies.
What kind of nut job listens to a commentary before they've actually
watched
the movie?
As a first run.
That is insanity to me.
Yeah. If you are, thank you for listening to us.
No, you are a nut job. You are a nutgeist. And you put us on pause and listen to this. Watch this wonderful movie without it. We got us yabbering.
We got a moron here.
We got a moron here.
On Morag.
Moron's a morag. I made an album once.
Geysers.
Did you see the trailer? Yeah, you did. For the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
for
yeah.
that, Pacino's coming out with a movie where he's basically Billy Joel, I guess.
Is it Billy Joel?
Well, he kind of, I mean, like based on like reputation.
Love that fucking mask, by the way.
Yeah.
That's why you have one, right?
Yeah. It's true. I do have one.
That could be your
Bradley
mask
Cooper
for a masked band.
Fucking owns in this movie, man. He's so good.
Yeah. Lee Pace. I wish his character had survived. I love Lee Pace. Or not, shit. I always confuse Lee Pace. Lee Pace is the accuser, right?
Yeah, Ronan.
Yeah, no, it's not Lee Pace. It's the other guy.
Michael Rooker?
No, he's the what a bunch of assholes.
Oh, the Nova Corps officer?
Peter Serafinkowitz?
Yeah, that guy. God, I love him. He was the voice of Darth Maul.
Yes.
Oddly enough.
He's
John C. Reilly.
He's Sean's roommate.
Mm-hmm. He got that role because he was on Spaced, the TV show that Simon Pegg did a couple years before Shaun of the Dead. He was Sean's ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
And there he is.
There you go. I don't know why I keep thinking he's Lee Pace.
Lee Pace is Thranduil, King of the Elves in the Hobbit films.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays Ronan in this.
And he's the pie maker in Pushing Daisies.
If you ever saw that AMC show, Halt and Catch Fire, he's the lead of that.
Some straight up Raiders of the Lost Ark stuff going on.
Yeah.
Beginning.
There's a lot of Lucas influence in this film,
Yeah.
which does not work to its detriment.
Yeah.
No.
And this is where the crowd goes wild.
Yeah.
This is where the fun begins.
Yeah. And the fanboys are like, oh, why does that work? Because it just does.
Yeah,
It's like Apple Jacks.
You know what? Because it's fake. That's why it works.
Because it's fucking fiction.
Yeah. And this is why I'm glad Chris Pratt is Star-Lord.
You know
Yeah.
who's the number 2 pick?
Oh, I know.
I don't.
Possibly now my new favorite member of It's Always Sunny.
Glenn Howerton, who plays Dennis Reynolds on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
If he played Star-Lord, it would have been this like a touch of madness and
Almost
kind of
creepier.
Yeah. This would have. Yeah, I love this right here. It's like the weird way of using like the shampoo bottle as the
Yeah.
microphone.
Now, were you, Jake, upset that he didn't wear his mask that much in the movie? Because I know you love masks.
I do, but you know what? I love Chris Pratt, so I let it slide. And you know the thing is, like, I don't think it's a he wears the mask as like a so they don't know who he is. You know what I mean? It's one thing for like Spider-Man to wear his mask,
Right.
but Star-Lord uses it as a tool. So
Yeah,
I'm
he's
fine with it.
Yeah, he's not afraid to announce, like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm Star-Lord.
But I'm not. I do quite enjoy when the mask is on because I think it looks cool. I remember some people were like, "It looks dumb." I thought it looked cool. I liked it way more than the comic outfit, which is this like the Brian Michael Bendis that look. I like his like steampunk weird look in the Annihilation war stuff.
Yeah.
I wish he looked like that. That would have been really cool.
Dual wielding like he does in that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that ball.
You're free now. James Gunn.
It's an infinity gem.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Again, if you haven't seen this movie,
Moron!
based on the color, if it's like the comics, I mean, they could be their own fucking thing, but purple is power in the comics.
That was easy.
You forgot to replace it with something of equal weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then rub your stubble.
Yeah. Though replacing it with something of equal weight doesn't really work out for...
No, it kind of... unless he just got the weight totally wrong.
Yeah, we never know.
You never know, yeah. This is Hyman Jinsu's second comic movie.
He said he took the role because his father was like, I want to be light-skinned so I can be like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he
Or
was
his
like,
son.
Yeah, his son. And he was like,
Yeah. Because he was also in Constantine.
Yes.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Very intense.
I love him in Blood Diamond.
Oh, yeah. He's really fantastic. I think, and 2013 is the year that Chris Pratt saved our universe and the Lego universe in the same year.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a hell of a year for
You know,
one
I would
guy.
actually argue it was 2014.
2014, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I would too.
It's not really much of an argument. It definitely is 2014.
Yeah, he had a good year.
But you know what? I'm sure he did it in 2013 as well. We just don't know.
Yeah. Who
He
knows
might
what
have done the actual saving in 2013. We
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
reaped the rewards in 2014.
Yeah.
There you go. Good save.
Yeah, it's not even close though, but I'll take it.
I like your they kind of like remind me of Putty Men.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Trailer moment.
Oh, looks good in 3D.
I remember
I
this
can't remember
movie.
if I saw this in 3D.
I saw it in
I
3D.
did, yeah.
Did we see it together, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we saw it
The
in
first
3D.
time, yeah. The second time you saw it with what, your dad?
Yeah, we saw it in 2D. One cool thing about seeing it in 3D was that the aspect ratio is tighter than a normal cinema screen. So whenever they had something like come out, pop out of the screen, it would take up the whole screen, kind of like what they did with the Dark Knight Rises in IMAX screens, where it would use up the
Widen
full.
up, yeah.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Like, it took me a good half of the movie to realize that's actually what was happening. I think I noticed it like out of like quote unquote the corner of my eye, but like it wasn't until like
Right.
a splash happened that I saw like the the side trails of it, like actually like hitting the black bars on the top and bottom.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
I gotta say, I think I was most excited about Chris Pratt in this movie.
I love him on Parks and Rec.
Just,
I love how they wrote off how he slimmed down on Parks and Rec. He just has like a throwaway line, like
he's talking to Adam Scott.
Yeah,
and
Adam
Scott's
Scott
like,
asks him like, "How'd you or like
lose all that weight?"
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, just stop drinking beer for like a month."
Yeah. Well, and then
Or-
and Adam West is just like, or Adam Scott is
Adam
like,
West.
Adam Scott's just like, how much beer were you drinking? He's like, oh, I don't know.
Alf. It's Alf. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that Alf makes it in this movie.
Yeah. If you had a problem with how he got cassettes, why don't you have a problem with how he got the fucking
they
deck
did.
in the?
Oh,
okay.
they did.
You want to know how he got it? It looks cool. That's how he got it.
Yeah. I mean, he clearly has that backpack. Hey, I liked it when you got your fingers bitten off by David Morse on The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Or when I saw you do naked karate in the beginning of Mallrats.
Totally Die Hard
Or
2
just-
style.
Be super gross in the
Slither?
Slither, yeah, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
such a
Oh,
that
man.
Another
movie.
James Gunn movie.
That's one of
Yeah.
those few films that make me sick to my
Oh,
stomach.
it's
so good.
delightfully gross
Yeah.
and horribly gross.
Yeah.
Personally, I lean more towards the latter.
Yeah,
I
Hey,
mean,
it's
I own
Sean
it on
Gunn.
DVD. Yeah.
who's also from Gilmore Girls fame. Plays the wonderful Kirk. And of course, obviously James Gunn's brother.
Fun fact about Yondu is that he, for a time, was the in the comic books. He was the leader of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was an archer with a giant mohawk.
Yeah, I do love Michael Rooker's performance as him. He said that he loved working on The Walking Dead, so he was kind of like bummed that they killed off his character in season 3, but he's like, it worked out timing wise because right after that I got the phone call from James. Now I love Lee Pace's as an actor in most everything he does. I just wish, kind of like Christopher Eccleston in
Dark World.
Yeah, Thor: The Dark World. I wish he got more to do. He's
Yeah.
kind of villain of the week here.
Yeah. I wish there was a little bit more of a build up and payoff with him.
Maybe in the deleted scenes. I haven't actually seen.
Yeah,
it.
we haven't. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
we're recording this with the DVD being pretty brand new, so we don't know. Haven't gotten a chance to play with it yet.
Il Novacore. I wasn't the biggest fan of their look. Ew.
Fills it with blood, just like the first Blade movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I grew to like the Nova look a little more.
It's okay.
Yeah, but it's the comics, it's super cool.
Hey, it's Karen Gillan, who, in my opinion, is a much more interesting villain in this than Ronan.
True. I agree.
Me too.
I want to know more about her. What's Nebula's story?
No, she could have survived. Maybe we'll get more story.
Yeah, I mean, she totally does. Yeah. She basically pulls a Michael Rooker in season 1 of The Walking Dead.
That's true.
Well,
I never even thought of it like that.
But she falls. She falls pretty hard.
There was, according to James Gunn, there was 2 bits from the ending montage where you kind of get like glimpses of everybody that they didn't.
Wait, she does land on a ship though, doesn't she?
Did they include the Nebula sequence?
I can't.
Nah,
I can't remember.
Well,
I don't-
we'll find out.
Yeah.
I only seen it once.
If they didn't, there is.
I feel like I feel like I'm remembering that she lands on a ship and hijacks it,
Yeah, in
T-1000 style.
what I remember it
Get
being
out.
Yeah, what I remember it being is she wakes up like she crash lands on like a grassy planet. So we'll see in
I don't
like,
recall that.
we'll see it in 2 hours maybe.
Yeah.
And the other one was supposed to be kind of a callback, and you see Quill's grandfather, like obviously like 26 years older. but James Gunn cut that. It's like, oh, that's kind of a downer of a note to focus it on a man
I
who
love
doesn't
this.
know. Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Yeah, look at Stanley.
He's a Class A prevert.
Yeah.
Now, Sean Gunn also does most of the mocap for
Yeah.
Groot, and
He uses his brother a lot.
yeah, I think he does mocap for Thanos as well, which is minimal because
He just kind of sits there.
He had to, and if I remember correctly, he actually had to do mocap for his own character because the character is a lot skinnier than he is in real life.
yeah,
The
because they didn't cast James Brolin until post. I don't think
Yeah.
this planet always kind of remind me of the Citadel from the Mass Effect trilogy.
This is where he gets his batteries, by the way. We're just going to say that right now.
Yeah. If that's still a debate, and it shouldn't be.
No.
Looks like the guy from Gringotts. If anybody,
Really tall.
yeah, a taller version of Warwick Davis in Gringotts. Like how they kind of like a replica of the Cosmic Cube or Tesseract in one of the cases.
Yeah.
Bro.
Pockets ain't empty, bro.
Yeah. Don't tase me, bro.
I like that they actually painted her skin instead of just doing some like kind of post work on her.
Well, they wanted to do kind of mocap, almost like Avatar related stuff, and she's
Mhm.
like, "Please no, like I'm gonna be doing that for the rest of my life on the
Yeah.
Avatar movies."
Yeah.
So like, okay,
I did like how they kind of just like got all the characters together, you know, like it was a pretty creative way, I think. And almost kind of like the same way that I hope that they kind of do it with Batman vs Superman, you know, where they
I'm
kind
sure
of like
there'll be,
start
like,
out kind of
friction.
scuffling. Yeah. Like it's not just, hey, we should work together.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that they're gonna. I mean, speculatively, but it's really leaning towards that them kicking the shit out of each other for the first half to 3/4 of the film.
I mean, the movie is called Verse.
Yeah.
Dawn of Justice.
Yes.
Batman's taking on the court.
Night Court. If you hadn't told me that Bradley Cooper was voicing it, I never would have known.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
same
he does
here.
a great job of, coming up with a new voice.
Same thing with Vin Diesel as Groot, who's rumored to be Black Bolt in the Inhumans film.
That's right. Old Blackagar
If,
Boltagon.
if anyone's rumoring it, it's definitely him,
Yeah.
mostly. And here's your 3D moment.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, really well done in the 3D version.
Yeah. I love how Star-Lord's pistol kind of looks like a blaster from Halo,
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
like a plasma rifle.
Here come the Novas.
Fuck you, Dale. Fuck you.
Star Prince. I've come to really like Bradley Cooper a lot more. I think it really started with The Place Beyond the Pines. I really liked his performance in that a lot, and then he just won me over hook, line, and sinker with this one. Those no core guys have to stand there all day and just stare at each other. There he is.
Yeah, my boy.
He goes out so hard in this movie.
Yeah, he does. At least it's a solid death. Now, I got to see the special 17-minute preview thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it started right here with this bit. And then continued on into the prison. This is pretty cool in 3D too. They did these special effects well.
I kind of liked it better with the
With the blur?
yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
Because we all know what he's doing.
Yeah.
They had to put the obscene gesture thing in there because they were afraid that people wouldn't. Like, that's why it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know, that's not a thing in other places of the world.
And they thought he was well, no, I can certainly see that being the case. But, like, domestically, it's like, what is he giving him a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they do the CGI on,
Hey, it's
on
Spectre.
Rocket so well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember how excited Chris Pratt was when he found out that Bradley Cooper was going to be in the movie. Like, that was like the final piece of the puzzle for him. He's like, "Oh, we're so excited."
Because, yeah, like,
Well,
he was cast in post. I think.
Yeah, and he was coming off, the Silver
American
Linings
Hustle.
Yeah, and Silver Linings Playbook was huge for him, and
Yeah.
I like how Star-Lord reacts to Groot.
yeah.
He basically being the voice of the audience.
That's our Batman '89 reference.
Zing. Sam's favorite trailer moment.
Yeah. Because I thought, honest to God, I thought the first trailer kind of sucked. Second trailer, which also has Hooked on a Feeling, much better. It's the one that's the trailer that won me over to this film. I thought it was so wild that the soundtrack album was like the chart topper, like the week after this film was released. Kind of tells you how the state of music these days.
Yeah.
There's your shirtless Marvel scene.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. Pratt, not you, Chris.
No, me too. This was kind of a sweet moment where you see.
Well, I think this is where that kind of like bonding starts.
Yeah.
In just terms of like, hey,
You realize how much shit all of them. Been through.
exactly, and they bond through that.
I wish it had
collective.
I wish it had shown a little bit more of their bonding, not just kind of being like, "Oh, hey, look, he sees that he, got experimented on or whatever." Like, at the same time, like I like how like they keep the pace going, so it's a delicate balance. Ultimately, I don't hate them for not including it.
Yeah. All these people die horribly.
Yeah.
They?
Oh yeah. That includes Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah, Lloyd Kaufman. Yeah. I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, "Was that Mel Brooks?" Wait, no, it was a different old guy.
Yeah.
And then like the second time I saw it, I was like, fucking Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah, because that's James Gunn got to start with Trauma Films. He even, I think, like has a small role in Toxic Avenger 4, Citizen Toxie.
So speaking of not being able to, like, with Bradley Cooper and not knowing that it was him until, or unless someone tells you, that was Nathan Fillion
Oh,
playing the voice of the blue guy.
yeah.
I doubt that he did the mocap, but
No, Sean,
I know.
Yeah, Sean Gunn did the lion's share.
yeah, but yeah, that was Nathan Fillion doing the voice right there.
Also a friend of James. I remember there's rumors when they're like, "Oh, Nathan Fillion's," and he's like, "Oh, is he Nova?"
Yeah,
No.
I would have loved that. Still waiting for a Green Lantern movie starring Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen, but I'm waiting. I mean, he does the voice.
Yeah,
occasionally.
on Emerald Knights and stuff. Yeah.
But he'll always be my Hal Jordan. There was that fan-made trailer that used a lot of clips from like Firefly and Serenity, because Mal was very much like Hal Jordan.
Yeah. Josh Keating on Green Lantern, the animated series, I thought did a good job. That was a good series. Shame it only lasted one season. This also kind of like I feel like there's a lot of it. I don't know how much is deliberate, but I get a lot of reminders of the Mass Effect series again. A great series of video games, and this reminds me of the prison ship Purgatory, which is basically just this maximum security space station. That's in Mass Effect 2, I believe.
His son was Drax the Love Gun and Drax the Rock and Roll Over.
You've actually met Dave Bautista, right?
Yeah, he came into our comic shop once. It was really cool because it is cool because nobody freaked out. Nobody like ran up and like was annoying to him or anything. He signed a couple autographs for a couple people who were Guardians fans who were buying the book that day. I knew it was him because I looked over and I saw a guy who was able to grab all the toys off the top shelf where we need ladders for, and he would just take down the thing and look at it, put it back up, and I was like, holy crap, it's Dave Bautista. And Shiva.
I love the humor that's peppered in here.
It's one of the funnier MCU films.
For sure.
There's your further Star Wars parallels.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Got a tiny face like Mick Fleetwood. Small like mouth and eyes, a lot of face.
That's Alexis Denihoff from Buffy, and he's Sandy Rivers in How I Met Your Mother. He's married to Allison Hannigan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I heard that
He's
this
basically the mouth of Sauron.
this was the hardest scene for James Gunn to write because he didn't know how to put. He's like, Thanos is great and awesome, but he has really no purpose in Guardians. But I guess to keep it all as a shared thing.
You've taken away the mouth of Sauron.
Burn.
Brolin does a good job as the voice of Thanos.
Yeah. Didn't he had the Infinity Gauntlet at Comic-Con? He was like, yeah.
Because he's like, the thing they kind of like enticed him with is like, in Infinity War, it's everybody versus you. And he's like, okay.
The guy was just having the worst day, and that made it even worse.
Perfect comedic timing.
Isn't it crazy that Bradley Cooper is the bad guy douche in Wedding Crashers? How he's come so far.
Yeah.
Crazy that Bradley Cooper talked to Sean Penn on Inside the Actor Studio. Like he was one of the students of Inside the Actor Studio.
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, you can see him in a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, he straight up asked Sean Penn a question, and Sean Penn, in typical Sean Penn fashion, doesn't really answer.
Sean Penn's like, oh, fucking...
Yeah.
And it's just an ass.
Yeah. You idiot.
I love that he uses, foliage as a shield.
Yeah.
And then Drax is just excited for a fight.
He's having fun, man. Yeah. Give him the people's elbow.
Trailer moment.
I think that was the first thing we heard Rocket say. Because I remember there was all this speculation on what he was going to sound like. Because I had heard that Bradley Cooper based it off Joe Pesci and Goodfellas.
It's a wonder she was able to be taken prisoner like minutes ago by decrepit inmates.
Well, clearly the guards are more incompetent than the police.
Oh yeah. Well,
The police are Nova Corps.
Yeah. Well, I mean more the inmates here in the prison.
Oh yeah. Touche.
Yeah, that's why I said inmates in the prison.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah. I was busy watching the action sequence.
Watching that Groot.
Mm.
All about that Groot. Or Rocket. I always hated in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, one of the characters they had is Rocket Raccoon, and he has like this Cockney accent.
Yeah, he has it. Like that was the kind of the thing. Like when he's on Ultimate Spider-Man too.
Yeah. I think it might be the same voice actor.
Probably. They seem to do that for video games and stuff. It's
But
the
yeah,
Man of Steel moment.
Yeah, but this just felt more right.
Yeah.
Of all the things, that's what you remember me for. Damn it.
Hey everyone, strike a badass pose.
Even the tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that necessary?
And proper. He laughs like Mutsley.
Yeah. I love how James Gunn was like, they did like so much research and research on like actual raccoon movement and the way they move and like their eyes and probably make little noises like that. Do you think that's just like phase one of the Nova outfits, and that's something that as the movies go on, they'll get closer to the look, or do you think they even care?
I think James Gunn's indicated that he never liked the comic Nova look.
Oh. I was hoping they were going to have a nod to Richard Rider or even Sam Alexander.
Yeah.
Like John C. Reilly would go home and his son was like Sam or something.
Yeah.
The Spectre. If anyone wondering, he played Jim Corrigan on the Constantine TV show.
Yeah. We're not just calling him like
some
random
if
DC
you don't know,
character.
sorry. I mean, he's not the most well-known character in the world. So yeah, that's what I was referencing.
And apparently that's not the most watched television program in the world.
Yeah, it's a bummer because I want to see the... Jim Corrigan stuff. More of it.
Hopefully we'll get that season 2. There's still hope.
I liked it.
When it was on, when it was firing on all cylinders, it was great.
Yeah.
And even in the weak episodes, Matt Ryan does a good job.
Matt Ryan's very good. And I don't know if it was you, Sam, who were talking about the Justice League Dark script. Like, hey, if the show doesn't work, put him in the movie.
Keep him as he's a great Constantine.
Great Constantine.
Any fault of the show is not a fault of his.
No. That's terribly with those guys. Bye. That would have been a great place for the Wilhelm scream or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's hit every wall on the way out. Chris Pratt's super legs.
Stronger than rockets.
Yeah.
As in a rocket shell, not rocket raccoon. Although I'm sure they are stronger than rockets.
Yeah. Rocket's probably the weakest member, unless he has crazy experimented on raccoon strength.
I mean, I don't know, a raccoon going wild would be. I mean, strength-wise, you're right. Yeah, but
imagine if he ever went feral.
Yeah,
that'd be terrifying.
Yeah. My favorite parts of the movie, though, really are the comedy stuff. Are just the offhand Rocket remarks, like he just said about his clothes being balled up.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing does nothing for the movie, but just those little offhand comments are great. Hey, 6 to midnight. For me.
Halo ODST sucked.
I was never a big fan of that one, actually. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, my everything else.
Yeah. Take 2 and call me in the morning.
Let me take a moment to look at this orb.
This and Dirty Work, man. Best use of this song ever.
Who does this song?
Oh, God. I have to look it up every single time. I'm going to do so right now. Rupert Holmes.
One-hit wonder Rupert Holmes.
I guess so.
Do you think is he still if he's still alive? Do you think he watched this movie and was just like, fuck yeah?
Yeah.
Finally.
My moment.
Better.
He stands up in the theater. This is my. Shut the fuck down, asshole!
He's invited to the premiere, and everyone's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, I'm Star-Lord, man. I'm Rupert. I forgot his name already. I'm sorry.
Rupert Holmes.
I'm Rupert Holmes, man.
Do like a good Ranger Rick reference.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you couldn't make any with Star-Lord. You probably couldn't make any pop culture references beyond 1988.
Yeah.
So as far as he knows, there's only one Back to the Future and one Ghostbusters film.
Yeah, he never saw the last Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Never saw Lethal Weapon 2.
Yeah.
Batman 89. Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh.
The last movie he saw in theaters was probably Who Framed Roger Rabbit or something.
Yeah. That makes sense. It seems like he'd be a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Maybe the first Die Hard, unless it was too scary for little Quill.
Probably was. Wow. Looking at Rupert Holmes' discography and whatnot, he actually has a lot of singles. And
is he still alive?
Yes, he is.
Okay, good. Because I feel like an asshole if we just made fun of him and he's dead.
I mean, I'd feel better if he was dead.
But
because then he would never hear us.
Well, I don't think he's ever really going to hear us. I don't think
You're
that's
probably right.
That's going to
but
be
there's
a
always
problem.
that chance.
That's true. Maybe he's like, oh, geek out. Oh, fuck you.
Oh.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Oddly enough,
we just lost a subscriber.
That coveted Rupert Holmes.
Oh. Maybe we can replace him with Engelbert Humperdinck.
There you go. Escape, not the only top 10 single he had in the U.S. and the U.K.
Masturbation joke in a Marvel movie. That's genius. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I'm surprised that one slipped the censors.
Yeah. The single directly following Escape, Him, was also in the top 10.
Yeah, riding on them.
Just probably mostly just because it's like, oh, it's the guy that wrote Escape.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't that good.
Riding them on those coattails.
This is where he becomes the Spectre.
Yeah, this is how Jim Corrigan dies.
Yeah. He dies so hard in the DC comics, like the way he goes out, like in a like almost Dick Tracy villain style, like
yeah,
the
like
cement
flat
bath.
top. Yeah.
Goes out in they put him in a barrel, and throw him in the river.
Oh yeah, like Lips Manless.
Yeah.
Not the bath. Not the bath.
that was uncanny.
Yeah. I wasn't even.
I wasn't looking at you either.
I wasn't paying attention to anything. I just heard Lips Manless. You like walnuts?
Yeah. Sir.
I like in Gilmore Girls, the Sean Gunn character gets a cat, and his name is Kirk in the show, and the cat's name is Kirk. So his mom has to differentiate between cat Kirk and human Kirk, and he also has to announce his presence whenever he walks in the room. Otherwise, the cat will attack him. I just think it's funny that he has the same name as the cat.
As much as I loved this movie, it did kind of annoy me that that Yondu had to whistle for every single movement of that thing.
That wasn't so much what I minded. What I minded was how like OP, like overpowered that thing was, and how nobody seemed to. Hey, look, it's a dark elf from Thor: The Dark World. Now.
Oh, hey, he's resting very peacefully.
He's like, why is this? I'm trying to sleep. Stop scrubbing the glass next to my head. But like no, like he kills like a bunch of dudes. And it's like if he doesn't kill them all at once. It's like any one person can just pull a trigger and stop this all from happening.
Yeah.
But putty men status.
That staircase has one definite way to walk up it because of the off-kilter steps. You can, I
guess you could jump on one and skip up to be dumb, but.
Yeah. Like at first, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, cool," and then I was like, "But I don't know. Do you always lead with the same foot?"
The severed head reminds so many Mass Effect references. It reminds me of the Dead Reaper that you go into in Mass Effect 2.
I never really played much of the game. I have the first one.
Mass Effect 2 is my favorite game on the 360.
I'll have to. Do you have all three of them? I'm assuming.
I do. Yeah. If you want to borrow.
I'm gonna have the first one. Maybe I'll start up again. And
Sure. That's definitely got a starting with 2 really definitely has a Star Wars vibe.
Metal. I am a little bummed at how short Benicio del Toro's in the movie. I was hoping he was going to be in it a little more.
Yeah, his character kind of confused me a bit, like because they never really seems to fit like why his assistants hate him so much. Like he doesn't. They never show him being like evil to them or anything like that. It's like, oh, his assistants just hate him for no reason that I was able to gather.
Yeah, they kind of allude that he works him hard, but I mean, there's no like dire consequences or anything.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a lot of hullabaloo when he was first cast as the Collector, and they were like, and he's the villain. He's going to be a villain figure in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he really isn't.
Yeah.
He's just a guy that kind of gets fucked over by him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Benicio's so great.
He's really just a plot point, not a villain. That was a good moment in 3D. I didn't really like the kind of like pseudo romance that they had budding right in this scene, it kind of felt a little awkwardly forced.
I mean, it makes sense for like Star-Lord to try to do it, but for her to kind of
reciprocate.
Yeah. Thank you.
Which she never completely does.
And I did like that she takes a step and she's like, "Whoa, fuck that."
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna kind of go like the Tony Stark Pepper Potts route, where they don't finally like. It's certainly there's some chemistry and they allude to it heavily, but it isn't until the end of Iron Man 2 where
she's gonna get infected by extremists later on.
Yeah,
save the day.
She falls into a fire.
You think she's dead, but she's really alive.
Yeah, totally takes out Guy Pearce, who for some reason happens to be in space
and still alive.
Yeah. Still kicking.
He's just like, I can never cut a break.
Yeah.
When was the last time Guy Pearce played a happy character? The Time Machine. Is that happy?
It was
not a good movie.
I was going to say Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. He's one of the drag queens. Seems pretty happy in that. Him and Terrence Stamp.
Yeah.
And I can never remember who the third one is. Oh, Hugo Weaving.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zoe Saldana really has like the whole like sci-fi monopoly. Like she's in some of the biggest sci-fi
Rightfully
movies.
so.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
They cut right before it would have been an awkward like tug at her head because she's still wearing the headphones.
Yeah.
I always got kind of a Smallville vibe from Chris Pratt's look, like it's Smallville season 10 with the red Superman jacket.
You've got a copy of that.
I do have that jacket, and also he has the blue, kind of powder blue shirt underneath too. Although he wears jean, I think it's darker blue jeans in Smallville.
Not the weird pseudo cargo pants he's got going on. Just like Wolverine.
I would love to see Bradley Cooper like filming
In
the voice stuff. I haven't really heard him talk too much about it, but I think I haven't done a lot of behind the scenes stuff with this movie.
Yeah, I mean there is apparently a big featurette.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if that includes. That being said, it's supposed to be a complete behind the scenes thing.
I'm sure they'll have like a video or
glimpse,
two.
yeah.
Of him.
It's oddly enough, it's mostly Vin Diesel's voice work.
Yeah, and just
I mean, he did have to say "I am Groot" 100 times
for every single translation.
and then he also did the different translations too. Soy Groot,
Sweet Groot.
Je suis Groot.
Yeah, ich bin Groot. Sono Groot. Okay, I'll cut it at that.
Yeah, it's probably good.
Yeah,
Rule of 3.
That's what you got when you let your heart win.
Hey, it's Cosmo.
It's a thing from the Avengers movie. And if you look closely, not in this shot, that shot, you can see Howard the Duck, right?
Yeah.
That's people have said that's Beta Ray Bill's in this shot too.
Yeah, and James Gunn's gone on the record for that. I feel like he's one of those ones that kind of responds actively. He's like,
he said no, right?
Yeah, he's like, no, he's not in this.
I think that was Man-Thing there, though.
In one of the background shots, you can see Adam Warlock. There it is, Adam Warlock's cocoon.
Adam West.
Yeah, it hatches, and it's Adam West with a soul gem in his head.
Yeah. Get you next time, old chum.
You shit.
I was in License to Kill.
I get ground into hamburger by
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton.
I love that he talks about that movie. He's talked about the movie a couple of times, like even now, like
Apparently,
with his fame.
Robert Davey really took him under his wing during the production.
Oh,
of
really?
it. Yeah.
That's cool.
You know, one of his first movies was Big Top Pee-wee.
Yeah, Wolf Boy, right? Or
Yeah, Dog Boy.
Dog Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he plays the Wolfman later.
Directed by Joe Johnston, who directed the first Cap film.
I'm in Rocketeer.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I
And
did
Johnston
not know that.
apologized for it. He was like, "Look, they only had like a month of prep."
I know that movie. That movie had every reason to be like super awesome.
Oh, I would have Wolfman.
Great
You know,
cast.
Wolfman's my father's favorite Universal monster.
Yeah.
He always loved that.
I'd say behind. I mean, Invisible Man. You know, I think a lot of people don't even consider, even though he was Universal, because he's not like a monster. But I would say Wolfman's number 2 for me.
Honestly, I love all of them. For me, the weakest though was probably the Mummy.
Yeah,
It's probably the one I
I
like.
like the
least.
Phantom and of course the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, yeah. I the Creature of the Black Lagoon's almost like a curiosity. It's like, oh, this one's different. Then the sequels suck. Yeah, it's all the Infinity Gems.
Stones.
Yeah. Just like just like apparently in this universe, the cosmic cube is they just had to simplify it, whereas in the comics it's its own thing. Of course, we've seen the red one in Thor: The Dark World.
Foreshadowing.
Oh, looks like a little egg.
But yeah, it seems like it almost has like its own intelligence that it forces it.
Like
Yeah,
a
but-
beguiling power.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it just
It's like the One Ring.
yeah. I don't know. I just wish they had spent a little more time developing that.
I would have just liked to see more collector stuff.
Yeah, that too.
A lot of big name actors in this movie, and relatively like Glenn Close doesn't get a lot to do, and John C. Reilly doesn't get a lot to do. Peter Serafinowicz doesn't get a lot to do.
And never will.
Yeah, like Jake says, he does go out pretty hard.
It's like pretty. It's messed up. Like it's one thing to be in the Nova Corps, I guess, and like blow open your ship, but you know he gets perfect. It's crushed. So many questions.
Oh.
There goes Cosmo. I had a knapsack in high school.
Weird thing about Lee Pace's performance is that he looks like through the entire thing he looks like he just got braces put on. So like his lips never like fully closed properly, and like he kind of like he got a mouth full of saliva.
He's always and the way that they put the black paint on his eyes, he always looks like his eyes are like wide open.
Yeah.
I just love that he's like Ronan's beneath his time. Follow him. Stay on the leader.
I can't see him.
Look at that speed. Do you think you can pull out in time?
Now, Nebula, remind me, because I'm no expert. Nebula, she was on Doctor Who, right?
Oh, Karen Gillan.
Yeah.
She was Matt Smith's companion for the first 2.5. Amy Pond for the first 2.5 seasons.
Is that what she's most known for?
Yeah.
I feel. She was in that movie
Oculus.
Oculus, yeah.
And she was on that horrible TV show Selfie.
It got better as it went.
Was she the main person on Sophie?
Yeah, her and John Cho.
Interesting. Hulu has the unaired episodes, in case you're... That's
Yeah,
our
they
Hulu
do,
plug.
Yeah.
I actually like Hulu.
Again, those episodes get better as they go.
I probably shouldn't pass judgment. I never watched it.
Yeah. It lasted longer than
They look like
Manhattan
Cobra
Love Story.
Sorry, they look like Cobra Commander.
Cobra!
And now
Joe.
Cobra's dead. Yeah, there definitely is kind of like a Halo Mass Effect lived-in feel for the movie.
Yeah.
Do you know if James Gunn is a video game fan at all?
I feel like it would be in his wheelhouse, but I can't honestly say.
Yeah.
I see a lot of stuff that have Mass... Like, I thought the new Total Recall had a lot of Mass Effect influence with, like, the foot soldiers. They looked like Cerberus troops from Mass Effect 3. Those are... If you like, third-person shooters and sci-fi, definitely check out those 3 games.
Cool. I need a new game to start anyway.
I was in Pushing Daisies.
I was in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
I love that in the Hobbit films, Lee Pace plays... So he plays the King of the Elves. He plays Legolas's dad, but he's younger than Orlando Bloom.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean like Quill?
Oh, thank God for these pools of urine.
or Mountain Dew.
That's he's lost in thought thinking
Yeah.
about that. Just like,
You know, I don't know if I ever thought that I would ever hear the phrase, "Thank God for these pools of urine."
This is the inspiration I gleaned from Lee Pace. In the comics, like, Gamora is potentially the strongest member of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Just like this no-nonsense warrior woman. Kind of like Xena.
Go ahead, put that mask on. Yeah.
Excellent use of colors in this,
Yeah.
this film. That was something I found very striking. It's very color saturated. Like you had like kind of like yellow tones or blue tones.
Yeah.
I really hope Jurassic World's good.
Yeah, me too. We'll know in a couple months.
Yeah, so does Chris Pratt as he stares into the light.
Yeah.
Please be good.
Yeah.
Please don't end my streak. He had to lose because he had put on a lot of weight for that Vince Vaughn film where he's like the sperm donor.
Oh, yeah.
He had put on his put on
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
put on a lot of weight for that role, and so when he auditioned, he still had that weight on, and they were like, "We like you, but you have to promise us that you're going to lose this weight."
I hate manure.
I don't know what he poked to make that. Like, was it his diaphragm or something?
I
to,
guess, yeah.
Don't question the Groot.
Yeah, he knows. He knows exactly what we all need: flowers, wood shields. I like just how Han Solo can tell exactly what Chewbacca's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So can or C-3PO, or not? C-3PO can tell exactly what R2-D2's saying,
And Chewbacca.
and Chewbacca.
The great thing is, like,
Yeah.
in this movie and like you're saying in Star Wars, they usually repeat what they're saying. The great thing about South Park is they'll just like Kenny will have this really long thing and they go totally, and they're just like fuck you, you're not gonna know what he's saying. Fuck you. That's great.
I was recently rewatching Star Wars, and I got reminded of one of the things that I loved about it, and this carries on with it as well. Like if it doesn't need to, it doesn't subtitle the alien languages. Like if there's like an interpreter who they themselves say it, or like you can just figure out what they're saying based on like their tone and whatnot. It doesn't bother subtitling it. Like half of Jabba's dialogue isn't subtitled in Star Wars.
Murdoch.
The look on Charles Napier's face when Rambo.
Oh, the
Yeah.
lightning, thunder.
What is it? What does he exactly say?
He's like, Murdoch, I'm coming for you. And then he just grips the thing really tight so he can flex more, and he bashes the guy's head bashes the guy's face with the microphone.
Mission
Accomplished. There's more out there. You know it.
Something we didn't mention, haven't mentioned in the podcast that we recorded when we recorded this commentary. We haven't
Last Blood.
Last Blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Creed.
Yeah. You can tell exactly what episode that is because maybe the next week we'll talk about some
Yes.
Stallone.
The only thing is the Stallone podcast.
Go watch Victory.
Yeah, I have it on DVD.
I play soccer with Pele and Michael Caine.
We make a V in the front cover, and it's all of our hands are in the air. It's weird because there's 3 of us, but it's a 2-pronged letter. It's a enjoyable film.
Yeah, who shares the prong with Pele?
It's Michael Caine.
Yeah, I think it's Kane and Pele.
It's
Yeah.
Michael Caine, Pele, and myself, and
I get top billing, so I
I'm
get my own prong.
I'm so good that I don't need help with my prong. Yeah, I have my own prong on my left side. I'm the Italian stallion. Pretty powerful when it comes to prongs,
I was in Party Kitty Studs.
Yeah,
I was the stud.
yeah, and they renamed it the Italian stallion because Southpaws
Yeah.
facing south or whatever.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
South Camden, South Jersey, Southpaw. If you're still listening, thank you to the podcast or to the commentary.
We should watch like we
Cliffhanger.
Paradise Alley.
Where he sings the theme.
Oh yeah.
We should do some Stallone movie and just all of us try to do Stallone.
Stallone Legends.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. But like none of the obvious ones.
No.
So none of the franchise ones.
No, we'll do Over the Top.
Over the Top.
Have that on DVD.
Paradise Alley. Yeah.
The Specialist.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. The Specialist.
Death Race 2000.
Yeah.
Demolition Man.
I have that on DVD.
Yeah. The Specialist is great.
Even with that
Judge
awkward
Dredd?
sex scene. Yeah.
Judge Dredd. Yeah. Why not?
Hell yeah. I like
It's
Dredd-
fun.
Judge Dredd.
I remember one time, because Sam and I live in the same house. Sam was like, "Hey, you want to watch Stallone Judge Dredd?" I was like, "Do I?" And like fucking skipped up the stairs to grab the DVD.
I would have
I was
done
like,
the same thing.
It was like just like hopping up the stairs, yeah,
Mario
woo,
style.
Yeah.
I like that Yondo's mohawk glows too.
Yeah. Whenever he's like pissed or
Mhm.
using his arrow.
Yeah.
I think this is my like favorite like rocket scene
Oh,
in terms
yeah.
of just like his like the humor and the voice.
Rocket
acting.
being full Rocket.
Yeah.
Hey, I just saved Quill.
Which is a throwback to Iron Man 3?
Or
Avengers?
The Avengers.
Avengers? Yeah.
I'm having 44% of a moment.
Hmm.
Let me eat myself.
Yeah. How fucked up is that? You never go hungry though.
Like a dog eating his own shit. Zoe Saldana was in a film called The Losers.
Great movie. Also a comic book movie
It was based off a comic by Andy Diggle.
called The Losers.
It's got Chris Evans too, another
Yeah.
Marvel.
And
He's played so many comic characters.
Idris Elba.
Yeah. To dance. Oh, that too.
It'd be funny if, like, everything's literal to Drax, and he's like, "We're going to give shit."
Yeah.
Nothing's impossible. Or anything is possible. Sorry.
Good talk.
This is where they all should have started Uga chalking.
Like Rudy.
Yeah.
They're just like ooh ga
Yeah.
cha ga ooh ga cha ga
They all
ooh ga.
put their jerseys on Yondu's.
Yeah, exactly.
chair.
Let Ronan play for me.
That was actually to just be insane. That was one of my favorite newsroom episodes, the Rudy episode.
Did you know that the coach the actual coach in real life didn't have certainly as antagonistic a role in Rudy's life, and he's like, yeah, go ahead. I understand you need to take creative liberties and kind of give, put a face to something to root against. But when he saw the jersey scene, he was just like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, that never happened.
Yeah.
Mike Golick from Mike and Mike was on that team, the famous ESPN guys, and he was like, yeah, that didn't happen. But, fuck it. It was a great scene in the movie.
Yeah. If you get the choice to choose between printing history or printing the legend, print the legend.
Pretty much.
Winners get to write the history.
Yeah. Runaways. They should have just had, not really because the soundtrack was great, but they should have just had it all Runaway soundtrack. Dead End Justice is my favorite Runaway song.
Yeah. Does anybody know for sure if James Gunn got all the songs he originally wanted to?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, some people can be hard to get to license, give out that license. Zeppelin being, I think, the big example.
Yeah. But he got like Bowie. The Runaways aren't like huge, but it's Joan Jett, and
I mean,
Blue
they were okay
Swede.
with Kristen Stewart playing,
I thought
She does a good job.
I thought she was
Yeah.
good.
I
at
didn't actually see it. I just
Yeah.
She's good.
I'm still riding the coattails of the everyone hates Kristen Stewart because she was in Twilight.
I liked her in that movie,
those are,
and then
those are terrible movies.
Yeah,
but
I liked her.
But I'm starting to come off that and be like, well, I'm sure that wasn't her fault.
Yeah.
They were
Everything
They were
about those
terrible
movies.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought she was really good as Joan Jett, and oh, God,
That's the face that you get. Yeah.
And I thought she was really good in a movie called Welcome to the Rileys.
I kind of want to see her in On the Road.
I heard she's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to see On the Road in general,
Yeah.
not just because of her.
She's an American Ultra this year.
Michael Rooker's pretty much Michael Rooker in every
Yeah.
movie, which is to say, cool,
Yeah. There's always
intense.
different kind of shades. There's your your Loki in Avengers moment. Just striding. Yeah, he grabs his non-existent dick.
Raccoon wiener.
Yeah. Maybe he's got a dick. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, you don't know what kind of experiments they put on him.
Yeah, he could have a bigger dick than me.
Yeah.
Well done, Rocket.
Yeah. It's real. My dick's real. Those are cool uniforms. Just,
Oh, the red scheme, yeah. Like I said, a lot of color.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the blues with the Nova guys and the yellow in the prison.
The guy in the background is just standing like not that guy. That guy. Standing like a fucking hoss.
Hey, is that the yellow bastard?
Yeah, that's why he's not in the A Dame to Kill For.
He's working with Nova, the Nova Corps.
This is what he does while Bruce Willis is in prison.
Yeah. When I left,
He's using the Nova Corps to find Nancy.
when I left the theater, like I liked the movie a lot, and I thought it was really fun. But the thing that I wanted to do most was read more Nova stuff. For some reason, that was like, you know what, I want to read more Nova stuff.
Yeah.
And I've read a little bit of Guardians here and there. I've read more like Star-Lord one-shot stuff by himself. But yeah, I was like, I gotta get back and read some more Nova, because I have a couple of like the old Nova classic books, and I've always liked the costumes. I thought they were really cool looking.
My first exposure to Nova was in Annihilation. And that's where they spun out his 2005 series.
I think they can make his outfit very much like that. The kind of the sleek Iron Man kind of look. That they did.
And then, of course, it was the event that introduced this incarnation of the Guardians was the follow-up, Annihilation Conquest.
We'll see Nova soon, I think.
I hope.
Me
I
too.
think, the success of this film kind of paved the way for expanding the Marvel Cosmic Universe.
Yeah. Would you say?
I know that they are angling. The big thing they want from 20th Century Fox, apart from the X-Men, is the rights to the space aliens that are part of the Fantastic Four licensing rights.
Oh, okay.
They actually sent an offer a couple of years ago to 20th Century Fox. They're like, we'll extend the licensing rights to you on Daredevil if you give us not the rights to the Fantastic Four, but to their alien characters. Like, I think that, the Skrulls, the Spartax, and the big one, I think, is the I think that might also include Galactus and the Silver Surfer.
Cool. Do you think we'll get like a Marvel Knights series anytime soon down the road, like Punisher, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider? Get like more of a darker, violent, like maybe even like an R-rated series of stuff.
I think that really hinges on the success of the Netflix stuff.
Ah, that's true, because they could do it that way then.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
If it does well, then yeah, I'm sure that's
Sky's the limit, man. As we fall from it.
Yeah.
The sky follows the limit?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they do have the rights to Punisher and the Ghost Rider back.
Yeah. And they were like, we have no plans to do another Ghost Rider. And even Nicolas Cage was like, I loved it. He has like a Ghost Rider tattoo that they had to cover up in the Ghost Rider movie because he was Johnny Blaze. But I think he's like, I'm pretty much done with that role.
Yeah.
I do like that the Nova Corps has like a big role in this. I thought it was cool to see them like actually work as a not just like it's not just the Richard Rider stuff or the Sam Alexander. It's like you see them as a corps, being this like police force, which is cool.
Basically forming the Tholian Web.
Mm-hmm.
Tholian Web is a Star Trek original series reference where they form all these ships form like a energy field.
Yeah.
A web.
I just nod my head in acceptance. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You never did watch Troubled Tribbles, did you?
We'll see one of these days. That's the only reason.
Turns out Jake's actually a super huge original series fan. He just wants to fuck with us.
Yeah. No, I can safely say I'm not. Sorry. I remember Kevin Bacon retweeted a tweet, obviously, where someone had said, I was watching this movie with my young son, and they had no idea who Kevin Bacon was. And Kevin Bacon was like, yeah, and retweeted it. It was kind of funny.
I have no idea.
One knows me.
Angry Karen Gillan.
Scary.
Imagine that.
Sorry.
Oh, no, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say that this is actually one of my favorite roles of hers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Amy Pond started to get stale after a while. And
I feel like the big reason she comes back for that third season is to just transition out.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this performance of hers. I hope that they do bring her back for more.
The Tholian Web. It'll work just as well as it did against the Enterprise.
There's that yellow bastard.
Again.
Gets his nuts ripped off by Ronan. Like, it turns out it's a claw hammer, and he's just like, yoink.
It's pretty cool. I remember some people were like, after we saw the movie, like, that was so dumb. I was like, they're a team.
And then I was like, no, you're so dumb, and punched them in the nuts and walked away.
Fuck you. Bye-bye. Fuck you.
I am Groot and I'm bioluminescent.
Look at the lights. Oh.
I remember there were a bunch of people in the theater that were like, oh, when he did that.
Vin Diesel's good at playing, those Iron Giant and Groot.
Yeah.
These big-hearted giant characters. I am Groot. Fuck you. Bye-bye.
You made me shave my head. She actually shaved her head for the role.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That was when they aired the first footage at Comic-Con in, I guess, 2013. She comes on stage, and she's got her normal, like, what you would think is her normal red locks. And they revealed it, and she ripped off the wig, and she was completely bald.
So I believe this is the scene that you were referring to?
It absolutely is.
Yeah, I remember being like, huh.
Any one person can just kind of pull the trigger.
And the bullet moves a lot faster than that little needle.
Yeah.
They're all like, something that defies gravity?
Yeah.
Something that flies? I've never seen anything fly through the air.
Yeah. Anytime. There's still, some of them are still there.
A fucking ship that could do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's still going. Oh. Maybe, shoot the one controlling it. This is why you're putty men.
It's unfortunate.
A lot of this was added during reshoots.
Yeah.
Like, they knew they wanted an extended, like, Gamora's role in the climax was to fight Nebula, but they hadn't really figured it out or beefed up the scene until reshoots. I remember seeing James Gunn tweeting pictures of, like, combat rehearsals where they're both using, like, the practice sticks.
Yay! How to get that time ramping shit in.
I hope he does a good job, Inspector.
Yeah.
He's apparently the big muscle bad guy in that film.
Yeah. The Jaws.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if they were just bringing Jaws back and they put a giant set of metal teeth in his mouth?
I mean, to be fair, they're bringing back Blofeld, and yet they call him Franz Oberhauser in the official announcement. Watch him not actually be Blofeld. They just punked
Yeah.
us all.
Yeah.
That'd be lame.
Yeah. Nope, he's actually Franz Oberhauser. My favorite Bond villain. Not Blofeld, Franz Oberhauser. Now rip out his head. No. It's like the most brutal thing Groot does.
Yeah.
Like, fuck those, like, 6 guys real hard.
Yeah. The other line of men just got, like, pummeled by other men.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was Sam's favorite part.
Yeah.
Man pummeling.
It hits my highlights list.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am the accuser.
I consider myself an accuser.
He's such a nuanced character in the comics. I was kind of, he doesn't get a lot to do. There's not a lot of depth to him in this film.
Yep. That's pretty terrible.
Chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Ah!
Yeah.
Well, he's dead.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yeah. And fuck you. I said, look, I have to shit. Awesome.
All right, here's where she falls. Let's see where she lands. Yep, ship.
Yeah, and then again in the montage, there was. I'm trying to remember if the bit of her crash landing afterwards was in the montage on the green grassy planet. I still feel like it isn't, but
Yeah, I don't recall that.
yeah. Just dull eyes, like, oh.
All right, yeah, that was our heaviest weapon. If that didn't kill him, we're fucked.
Yeah, kind of like in Iron Man 2 with the ex-wife.
Yeah.
Though in this case, it actually kind of, there's a payoff.
Yeah, it actually explodes.
Yeah. I think he even goes as far to say, I mean, we're about to find out that it actually hurt. There is a charred mark on his... Whoa, wow.
Yeah, Drax was having none of that fall
Yeah,
over.
he regained...
Yeah.
Sorry, Drax.
Yeah.
The bow tie ship fall.
And Dave Bautista's like from this area, right?
Is he?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
I think he is, yeah. Like, relatively.
Yeah.
What's his name? Metamorpho goes out in a similar way during Grant Morrison's JLA run. When the watchtower's crashing, he forms into a giant ball to shield the other JLA members from harm, and it ends up temporarily killing him. Because no death is permanent.
Nope.
Dave Bautista aboard the Dreamland Express.
Yeah.
As much as I get the sentimentality of that, I don't know. Part of me just kind of wishes he kept to.
I am Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cute, but
Yeah. I get the sentimentality, but
it didn't, yeah.
yeah. So Xandar's fucked.
Yeah.
Kind of like San Francisco in both of J.J. Abrams' Star Trek films.
J.J. Abrams just really hates San Francisco.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It is canon that's where Starfleet's headquartered. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what the first film we see that in. I want to say it's Star Trek 2.
Amazing that the tape survived.
It's that USA, US of A.
This tape deck, this futuristic tape deck.
Yeah. USA. How do you feel about the ending, like the dance off?
I'm not a fan.
Really?
Again, it was cute, but
It's like a callback to the opening of the film that didn't need to exist.
yeah.
I would rather them do the distraction from a Gruber.
The celery?
I love
Yeah,
that. I
that's
love
the
that
one.
movie.
MacGruber.
We made a fucking movie, MacGruber.
Fucking fat Val Kilmer is the bad guy.
Yeah, Dieter Van Kunth.
Actually, what annoys me more than the dance off is that out of nowhere, Ronan calls them the Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
like apropos of nothing. Like no one's.
Yeah. He does it mockingly too.
Yeah, but it's like. I don't know. Like it feels like he's calling back to something they said, but they never said it.
Yeah. Just to get that title.
Yeah.
This almost makes more sense though in like a comic book movie for him, like to like actually stop someone dead in their tracks than trying to have this big monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than like just dancing like an idiot in front of them.
Yeah.
I like it just because it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just be wild.
I do like that the shot that they hit him with earlier leaves a giant hole in his chest.
Oh, it's straight up burning when he hits the ground. Yeah.
I can't close my lips.
Yeah, if he was Black Boulder Thanos' kid, that would
make sense as to
Explain.
why he could do this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy smile, Lee Pace.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Star power, bitch. Even though that's Guitar Hero.
He kind of looks like a one of the husks from Mass Effect.
Oh man, this had me bawling the first time I saw it.
It's like Contact when Jodie Foster talks to her dead dad at the end of the film.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out. Like, since like Ronan accidentally like touches the stone itself and just like straight up like instead of going for the shoulder. Phone home.
Yeah.
That was what we needed, that little bit of rocket.
Yeah.
Do you think getting in contact with this is what really kickstarts Groot's rebirth?
I mean, in the comics, as long as there's a shard of him that isn't
That's true.
yeah, that isn't burned, he can regrow. Next time, Gadget.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah, I feel, as much as I enjoyed Nebula's character, I feel like if they didn't have her, the Ronan payoff would have felt a lot better because that would have given Ronan a lot more to do. You know?
Yeah. Totally.
Totally just Daryl. Or
Even Meryl.
Meryl, yeah. Well, their names rhyme. I like that his scars didn't magically go away after using, the gem too. Like the scars that holding it formed on his face still held up. They weren't magically whisked away by movie magic. Magic.
This guy.
This motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh like a creepo. I ran naked through Stars Hollow and Gilmore Girls.
But we won't say who it was. Well, no, growing up, yeah, he was. Have you seen the picture floating around the internet of who is it? Tim Gunn, James Gunn's brother.
Sean
Gunn?
Sean Gunn in the mocap suit during the shot.
No.
It's adorable because he's in a suit, a mocap suit for Raccoon, and you just see Dave Bautista all done up in makeup, just petting his head. I inspire you all to look it up on the internet.
Sweet moment.
Yeah. Inhuman or Titan?
His
Peter-
dad's actually Galactus.
Peter Boltagon. I loved you in The Natural.
You have crazy hair.
I first thought he was just announcing to everyone, like, hey, I have a family.
I'm not gay.
I have a stepbrother.
Don't touch my drum set. People tell me I look like Han Solo. Boogie Nights.
Did they ever release the track listing for Awesome Mix Volume 2?
I don't know.
Or are they saving that for...
I think they'd probably save it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I feel like they might have. I'm going to look it up so we can have a definitive answer before we put this baby to bed.
I love trolls.
Joke's on you, Quill. I wanted that the whole time. Nova.
That means...
This is where I thought Sam Alexander was going to show up or something. But then it's clearly not Sam Alexander.
Yeah. That means, though, when they... when Thanos inevitably gets the power gem, the Nova Corps fucked.
Yeah.
Like, Glenn Close will probably get blown to smithereens.
Probably. Yeah, Rocket rules. He was my favorite part of the movie, by the way. Even though I was all about Chris Pratt. They're all great, but I was most pleasantly surprised at how great Bradley Cooper's Rocket was.
But in that montage, the Ain't No Mountain High Enough montage, there was originally supposed to be Grandfather Quill, and Nebula crash landing on a grassy planet.
What was the Grandfather Quill like? What was he just supposed to be?
He was supposed to be just older and like looking at a picture of his missing grandson, just like I guess depressed at life.
Jesus.
Yeah, and then James Gunn was like, that's maybe a little too depressing. And the reason he took out the Nebula bit was he was like, and we don't need she's a villain. She's not part of it. And this was originally supposed to be the mid-credits scene, but James Gunn liked it so much he was afraid people would miss it. So he kept it in there, or put it right before the credits.
Really? I could have sworn that it was in the mid-credits. Maybe I just forget. I mean, it has been a couple months since I've seen it. No, it seems like there isn't a track listing available.
Keep playing that one to the chest for now. Got 2 years until the sequel?
Mm-hmm. I like that it's just called 2. There's no special
subtitle.
Yeah, just 2.
I can understand why they added subtitles to Cap and Thor because they're like, we don't know how long.
I mean, I feel like even if they're like, hey, James Gunn, you should put he's like, no, just 2. That seems very it's just, and it's almost like spray painted on it's the original Guardians font and then just 2.
Yeah, they'll probably go the Iron Man route where they just number the first 3.
Yeah. I've never had a problem with just numbering.
Yeah. I think once you go beyond 3, it starts to kind of like Rocky syndrome. Once you hit Rocky 5, you're like, oh, we're still.
Yeah.
So when they did Rocky 6, instead it was just Rocky Balboa.
Yeah. I think it says on-set Rocket.
Yeah.
For Sean Gunn.
Dun, dun. Yeah, good flick.
Yeah. Now that we're done with watching all of these.
Oh shit! Rob Zombie's in this movie.
What?
According to those credits,
shit.
There he goes.
That's awesome.
I guess he was the
voice.
Oh, okay.
Ravager something voice.
He's done a lot of Kirk Connors on Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, CGI one, yeah.
And then he's done some DC stuff too, like voice work. Now, has any of your guys' thoughts on what you thought were the best Marvel movies so far changed, or any kind of top 3 that you would put down that you could think of? Or
if I had to say 3, it would probably be Avengers, Iron Man, and Cap Winter Soldier.
Yeah, me too.
This is a very close 4, though.
Yeah, sounds like a good list right there. I can't think of anything that I would bump out for.
I mean, if you've listened to all these, you could tell we enjoyed all these, even the lesser ones. But it's been fun to watch these again.
Yeah, kind of.
Some of them, only seen once. So like this one, technically, really only seen once before.
Yeah. I think before we did this, the only one I hadn't seen multiple times was Cap 2 or Thor or something like that.
Mm.
No, I remember what it was. Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I'd only seen
there had been a couple, like Thor 2 I'd only seen once, Iron Man 3, this. I don't know. I think that was it.
Devlin.
Second unit.
Got your second unit right here.
Second
unit this.
Oh, man.
This is very kind of like E.T.-esque, this
Yeah.
score right here.
You know, they originally thought about doing the Cap mid-credit scene with the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver
Mm-hmm.
at the very, like, as the full-on post-credits, because this is the last film before Age of Ultron, so that would tee it up the most, and they were sitting there, and they're like, they would have nothing to do with Winter Soldier, and it really does come off the heels of that film.
It does, yeah.
I mean, they straight up address the exposure of Hydra, and so, yeah, that's why they ended up the Howard the Duck thing was kind of a last minute addition.
Yeah.
Method. I think this film was the majority of it was filmed in London.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think they rent out like, I don't know if it's Pinewood, but it's like something of that magnitude.
Old Pinewood.
Well, how many times has Pinewood burned down? Twice?
Multiple times.
At least twice.
Yeah. More than once.
Yeah. Also, they could fit 2 submarines in it. No, 3 submarines. That's right for Spy Love Me.
Like heaven above me, the spy who loved me.
You do it better. Or
Keeping my
nobody
secrets.
does it better.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Nobody does.
It better.
makes me feel sad for
the rest.
Nobody does it half as good as you, baby. You're the best.
And it goes back into
right. Yeah.
I have it above me, the spy who loved me, keeping all my secrets safe tonight.
It's filmed at Shepperton Studios.
God.
So this was all for nothing.
Yeah, restart the podcast commentary.
Fuck it all.
We'll just do it live.
Yeah.
No raccoons or tree creatures were harmed during the making of this film.
Thank God. I was worried about the tree creatures.
Plenty were hurt during the making of this commentary, though.
Yeah. Oh, I shoot Ents regularly.
It's so weird. Because it's so ridiculous.
And yet so true.
There's maybe Man-Thing, and there's Cosmo.
Hey, at least you're not ground up. License to Kill style.
This isn't a mojito at all. Seth Green. The voice of Howard. I do love how they keep it a secret, like by keep withholding the creator credits for Howard the Duck until after he shows up.
That's good stuff.
But yeah, that's the end of our little trip down Marvel memory lane. We'll be back with a celebration for Chris, really. So you guys are in for a bit of a birthday treat. So you'll find out what that is next week. If this is the first Marvel commentary you've heard, hey, we've got like 9 more.
And plenty of other movies.
Yeah, like all of Batman.
That's right.
So we'll catch you on the flip side. Been another installment of Geek Out Commentary. This was Guardians of the Galaxy. See you next week with something different.
See ya.
Good night.